What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here, bringing you another video. Today's video is on Power Rangers. So for those that don't know, on Twitter, one of the main trending things today was Power Rangers, which is completely unusual because you almost never see Power Rangers or anything in that regard, like gaming or TV or like TV shows that are, you know, for not necessarily the younger audiences, but not necessarily the older ones, depending on if you're a major fan or a minor fan, or depending on just if you're watching it. So anyway, Power Rangers was trending today, and I was curious, and I'm sure plenty of you guys who view Twitter regularly probably looked into this too. So apparently there was this fan flick that came out by Joseph Kahn. He's a fan. So the video basically was like a reboot of the original Power Rangers. Not the original ones, but it was kind of meant to be somewhere like around the Zeo line. Like it was supposed to take place post Zeo, like around the time of Zeo, if not like post Zeo. And it was supposed to be like this world as though the Machine Empire had taken over and they had actually won, and how we get to see a lot of characters. You know, all of them are, you know, not the real actors, but they resemble certain, but they have interesting looks and they're meant to play off of certain characters. Obviously, it's supposed to be a modern interpretation. It's supposed to be like, what would they be like in a real world sense if they weren't kids? Like, what would they be modern day? And there are two different versions. There's the PG-13 one on YouTube, and then there's the original one on Vimeo. For those that are younger and who are not necessarily kids that are allowed to watch more mature videos, and by more mature I mean parts like watch parts of videos that have inappropriate scenes. I suggest only watching the YouTube one. For those that are able to tolerate this stuff and their parents allow them to, I would say watch the I would definitely say watch the Vimeo one. But just consider this now, if you are younger, I strongly advise against it, because I don't want any of your parents to get annoyed or you get in trouble. But if you are someone that's able to tolerate it, your parents are accepting of it, go for it. I will probably have the links down below for both the YouTube version and the Vimeo version. So anyway, as I said before, it focused on post-Machine Empire. For those that don't know, that's the season for Power Rangers Zeo, which was the season that came after the entire original MMPR 3 seasons happened. And it was supposed to be like this hypothetical situation where the Machine Empire wins. The interesting thing about it was that the Machine Empire in this case, well, one thing is that most of them really weren't really machines in this case, and these guys actually look like more of like a military black ops group or something like that. And you know, they had machine guns and assault rifles, and it's, you know, it looks like a shooter game rather than or like a shooter situation. And you know, it would be like the modern equivalents, and just in general it was very different. I would say that how well it was done really well. It's a great video. Is it what the Power Rangers is? No. It is not the Power Rangers, but it is an interesting interpretation of the Power Rangers. Believe me, I personally think that what they did was pretty cool. I definitely like the video. For those that have watched it, I'm sure that you guys have your own opinions about it. But for me, I think it was okay. I thought the video itself was great looking. Would I say that I like the interpretation completely? No. I found that there were definitely things that kind of bothered me, and there were things that, like, you know, you couldn't do much about. Like, for example, they decided to use the actor for the fake Kimberly. If you guys have seen, and this is like a warning, like spoilers, like for the fake Kimberly, they decided to use a blonde. And for those that know the original Pink Ranger, last time I checked, she's not a blonde. No. In fact, when I first saw her, I thought that she was supposed to be Kat. That would actually make some sense. That doesn't look like Kimberly at all. That looks like Kat at best. And even then, it still doesn't look like Kat. I mean, it barely looks like Kimberly. It barely looks like a cat. I can barely see it, and I get it that they were just like, oh, I'm sure. I mean, I'm surprised a little bit also because the thing was is that if you look at the credits, they actually have a decent number of people that actually were part of this this whole entire process, and I was really surprised that they couldn't get a different female to play that role because, to be honest with you, having a blonde. I'm not saying I'm against blondes because I mean I used to be like completely blonde, like toe-headed blonde, you know, platinum blonde, but just in general, kind of an odd choice, and just in general she doesn't really I mean, none of these characters really resemble them, but the fact that they went with that color hair for Kimberly, it's kind of unusual, especially since there was another Pink Ranger that happened around that time. And I get it that you can assume when they mentioned Jason when they mention Tommy, but still. Also, obviously, they reference a lot of characters. They show fake Bulk and Skull. They show which like they're like in a gang, which was interesting to see. There's also some really depressing scenes with a lot of the major characters dying off. Obviously, all of them were not the original characters, but you know, the show made characters were, you know, these fake reboot man flick characters, showing them dying off. It was a pretty good clip. I mean, it was a pretty good video. I would tell you that for those that watch the more mature one, the main part to worry about, just if parents are curious, is when they mention Zach. Do not, if you are not allowed to watch it, do not watch the Zach portion because that part's kind of screwed up. So yeah. But there's some really great, awesome fighting scenes. There's some really cool scenes in general. Great music is playing throughout it. A lot of it is, you know, Skrillex and that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's a lot of techno and a lot of that, and a lot of, you know, rap and beatboxing and all sorts of Skrillex like music. And I could tell very easily. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Skrillex, but I definitely knew it was, some of it was like Skrillex and some of it was some other stuff. Just in general, it was just really good. It was done super well. I mean, the cinematography was excellent, and it felt like a movie. It felt like a movie, and that's so key. And the way that they did a lot of scenes, I mean, it blew me away that this wasn't a movie. At the same time, I was like, wow. Because, I mean, I've seen plenty of other fan flicks, and I've seen what they've tried to do with other things. This is probably the best fan flick version I've seen so far of the Power Rangers. And believe me, there's another one that's supposed to be coming out, I think either this year or next year. I'm not sure if it's the same one. I don't think it is. From my knowledge, I don't think it's supposed to be. But, my God, I mean, there was like this channel on YouTube that had that stuff, and it was a big deal. But I mean, this video, oh my God, it looked like a real movie, and I couldn't believe how good it looked. I was beyond impressed with what they did. I think that that overall it was very impressive. What was it? The interpretation that I would have said that they should have done? Not particularly. There were definitely things that bothered me. As I said before, it's hard to wrap my mind around certain points, but at the same time, it's like when you watch certain scenes, like you want to hate certain things that they're doing. You don't want to hate it, but you don't want to love certain things that they're doing. But at the same time, then you see another scene, you're just like, oh, but then there's this now. Oh, I can't choose. Do I hate it? Do I like it? And the thing is, I do like it, but there are things that do bother me. Overall, though, I think it's a great video, though. So. I hope you guys have started looking around yourselves to watch it because it's become pretty trending, and I'm sure it will become popular for at least a little while. There was a rumor going around for those that are curious. You may be wondering, like, what is Saban doing when they hear this news? Well, there was a rumor. I think this is very much so fake. I don't think it's true at all. There was this rumor that Saban's getting annoyed or whatever, and I'm just like, I don't think that Saban really cares. I hope you realize. I mean, yes, you get it. Obviously, they're making a movie that's supposed to come out in 2016, of the summer of 2016, which I am beyond excited for. But I mean, what are they gonna do? They can't do anything. There's nothing they can do. It's not like people announcing false characters with when it came to Rayman from Rayman Origins and all the other Rayman games. When it came to Super Smash Bros. For the character slot for a possible DLC, it's not like that. Sure, that would have been something that would have been interesting, but no, it's not like that. This is like a real fanfic, and what are they going to do? They're gonna be happy that someone thought of doing that, because the thing is that most of the time, a lot of these videos aren't necessarily the best. But you know what? People do try, and I appreciate everyone's efforts. I've seen plenty of fan flicks for the show. I've seen some fan scripts also. There's been a lot of really great stuff. But this overall was just really surprising to me, and I just loved what they did with it, and I think it was really good. And you guys, if you guys haven't checked it out, please do, and if you have, please leave your comments below, because I would love to hear all your opinions. I'd love to discuss with you guys what you guys think of it in more detail. Anytime on Twitter. If you want to look me up on Twitter, search up @CrazySamurai71, or you could just leave some comments below. Both are good. I hope to see you guys in my next video. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you guys for watching. Again, this has been Crazy Samurai 71, signing out.